check, our big focus, the Supreme Court is hearing a petition filed by a BJP leader who wants parties who promise freebies, handouts, to lose their license because of the harm these handouts cause to the economy. This PIL has the backing of the central government. In fact, the attack on handouts has been led by the Prime Minister himself, who in recent multiple speeches has been targeting handouts using the analogy of the free distribution of Revdis, a North Indian mithai, like in a speech he gave in July in Uttar Pradesh at the inauguration of a highway.
रेवड़ी कल्चर वालों को लगता है कि जनता जनार्दन को मुफ्त की रेवड़ी बांटकर उन्हें खरीद लेंगे। हमें मिलकर उनकी सोच को हराना है। रेवड़ी कल्चर को देश की राजनीति से हटाना है। साथियों, रेवड़ी कल्चर से अलग हम देश में रोड बनाकर, नए रेल रूट बनाकर लोगों की आकांक्षाओं को पूरा करने का काम कर रहे हैं।
Now the Prime Minister didn't stop there. He's taken several similar shots at other events. Other BJP leaders too have stepped in, claiming that handouts is damaging economic progress. At many levels, this is a curious line for the Prime Minister and his government and indeed the BJP to take. For one, there's been widespread political and economic consensus in India for decades on subsidies, doles and even free entitlements as safety nets in a largely poor country. Some benefits are not considered handouts but as rights, which have been passed into law, like the National Food Security Act, which guarantees subsidized grain to the deserving. Equally, in other areas like health and education, there is consensus that state-funded subsidized services in these areas are not a drain on resources but a vital cornerstone of economic progress. How does India grow and compete globally unless we have a healthy, educated citizenry? But in his barbed comments on Revdi culture, the Prime Minister or the BJP has never defined which party he's referring to or the kind of handouts he's targeting. Does he mean outright free entitlement or doles or subsidies? But it's safe to assume that the BJP's primary target is the Aam Aadmi Party, emerging as a key challenger to the BJP, given AAP's political growth and electoral success believed to be largely linked to their promise of free or subsidized entitlements. Its governments in Delhi provide certain quantities of free power and water. Limited free power promise was also extended to Punjab, which they won earlier this year. Also free education and medical treatment in government institutions and a monthly stipend of 1,000 rupees for young women. In the coming Gujarat elections, AAP has promised again limited free power and stipends to women. Now it could be a subject of debate on whether AAP has redrawn the line on entitlements, extending it to areas like power, similar to debates sparked by parties in southern states which have promised and pioneered the practice of free mixies, TV sets, laptops and so on. But it's baffling to see the BJP wade into this debate, given that its own political success has been on the back of mega welfare schemes, often with the PM's personal branding, ranging from outright free handouts to subsidized benefits. Let's look at the prominent examples. Prime Minister Kisan 2018 announced 6,000 rupees cash a year to farmers, a total budget of almost 70,000 crores. PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana in 2020, 5 kgs free food grains every month to the poor during the pandemic. Again, a massive budget, 80,000 crores. The Swachh Bharat Abhiyan of 2014, 12,000 to 15,000 rupees subsidies for building toilets, a budget of about 7,000 crores. This is for Swachh Bharat Rural. The Prime Minister Ujjwala Yojana announced in 2016. Phase 1 was free cylinders to crores of households. Phase 2, 1 free refill along with a free stove. The Prime Minister Awas Yojana of 2016, 1.2 lakh to 1.5 lakh rupees subsidies for building houses, a budget of almost 50,000 crore rupees. These are all 2022-23 period budgets. It's the same in BJP ruled states. Just take these recent announcements. BJP governments announced ahead of the Uttar Pradesh elections of 22. BJP promises including free scooties to girls, free power to farmers, free LPG cylinders. In Madhya Pradesh, March 22, a one-time waiver of electricity bills valuing about 6,400 crore rupees in Himachal in April of this year, 125 units of free electricity to consumers, all BJP governments. And here are BJP leaders themselves talking up some of these promises/decisions.
किसानों को 5 साल तक सारा बिजली का बिल भरना नहीं पड़ेगा, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट बिजली देने वाले। माताएं बहनें यहां बैठी है, जिनके पास भी उज्ज्वला का गैस है, होली और दिवाली में एक गैस आपको 2 गैस साल में मुफ्त सिलेंडर मिलेंगे मित्रों, मुफ्त। 10 तारीख को काउंटिंग है, 20 को होली है, 10 को भाजपा सरकार बना दो, 20 को मोदी योगी सरकार आपके घर में गैस का सिलेंडर भेज देगी।
2 साल फ्री में दिया था 80 करोड़ लोगों को पूरा राशन, दुनिया में एक भी ऐसा देश नहीं था। अब इसको खर्चा आएगी कि नहीं? 2,71,000 करोड़ रुपए खर्चा आया, वो कहां से लाएंगे? तो इनकी एक मांग होती है कि रोल बैक टैक्सेस, यानी एक तरफ उत्पादों को कीमत दो, दूसरा टैक्स मत लगाओ और लोगों को सस्ता दो।
Now this propaganda around handouts is for good reason. The BJP's welfareist push has by all accounts been electorally rewarding, massively. Clearly people like freebies and handouts and are rewarding all parties that promise them, including the BJP. So why is the BJP then attacking freebies, other than political point scoring over its rivals? In fact, some say the debate should not be on freebies or whether they're good or bad, since almost all parties practice it, but on how many governments led by the centre are retreating from the traditional role of providing services like health and education and instead taking the easy way out of distributing handouts. What the former chief economic advisor Arvind Subramanian has called the new welfareism of the Modi government. As he writes in a recent piece in the Indian Express, this new welfareism means that the state does not prioritize the supply of public goods such as basic health and primary education as governments have done around the world historically. Instead, it has entailed the subsidized public provision of essential goods and services like bank accounts, gas, toilets, electricity, housing, and more recently water and also plain cash. Presumably, since providing quality health and education are tough and hard to measure, and it's a long-term process versus, say, toilets, which has immediate political benefits and it can be counted, but then that doesn't create the base. Without health and education, you don't create the base with which people can empower themselves and stimulate growth in a dynamic economy.